Welcome back to CBS4K, and this is Marvel's Wolverine. Let's just go ahead and just play the thing, and I'll make my opinion known throughout the video.
Let me introduce mutant kinds. Extinction.
Yeah, I don't too much hate this game. It's one of those I was excited for it at the start. Then as time went on, I became less and less excited. You know what? This is like a perfect story.
I need you with me.
This to me is like a perfect story. The problem that they're facing. Because right now, they're suffering from PlayStation and Insomniac. They're suffering from like bad PR because the death of physical games on there. They're trying to kill physical games, and it's really enraging people. And a lot of people are giving, I would say they're punished. They're taking it out a little bit on Marvel's Wolverine, but they're kind of bringing it on themselves. Let's just look at a couple of characters, really. People said that they don't really like Wolverine, and I can understand why. The design's not doing it for me either. When he's in his mask, I like it. Like right there, it's pretty cool. It's got the Wolverine mask, the blades. Yeah. But I've been struggling trying to figure out what this game is, its identity, because it doesn't feel like. It doesn't want to be an X-Men game to me. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't want that. It wants to be something else. And you probably think, well, that's just very...
you have to...
That's very, like, abstract and a little bit unfair. And I would have to agree.
Extinction.
Yeah, it is unfair, but... The trailer is supposed to give the potential customer an impression. And my impression is that you don't really like the X-Men, that you don't really like superhero genre, the superhero thing. You don't really like people who are into it, quite frankly. And you would rather be doing something else. You would rather be doing something much more meaningful in your eyes. And you know what? That's fair. If you don't want to do this, I 100% understand. It's just superheroes. It's just people talking about stuff and ridiculous capes, costumes, blah blah blah.
Not today, Bob.
Go do that. Go do that game. The reason why I feel like you don't want to do it is because you didn't get the characterization of Wolverine and Sabretooth. They're not supposed to like it. It feels like when I was watching Sabretooth and Wolverine like talking, it felt like, oh, come on, man, be cool, bro. No, I don't want to be cool, bro. I'm out of here. And it took away from, I'm gonna say, from the character. It took away from what I would say is the core of their story, which is Wolverine and Sabretooth is almost animalistic. It's primal.
I need you.
It's hatred between two rivals. It's like one predator fighting another predator for territory. That's what the Wolverine and Sabretooth is supposed to feel like.
Extinction.
And you're supposed to root for Wolverine because he's a predator, but he's got a conscience. He's got other motivations than just brutality, destroying lives. He's much more focused. Respect that. But it didn't. The Wolverine in this game does not feel like Wolverine at certain bits. Now you can say, well, this is an alternate take, an alternate version. It's like, okay, that's fine. Problem with that is you're going to be compared to every other version of Wolverine and every other version of Sabretooth. Not through just this gaming media, but through all of Western media, in all versions of it. Now, the reason why this is bad for you is because I personally have played Wolverine's Revenge, I think it was called, on PS2, like the Wolverine game, like years, many moons ago. And I remember I liked the game, but I had my criticisms. Like the main one was the controls were awful. There was one bit where you would have to switch from attack mode or something, and it was just an awkward experience with the controls. But they got the characterization between Wolverine and Sabretooth correct. They got some really good set pieces and action sequences in there. It was a real fun experience. It's a fun experience, but again, the controls helped like keep it down for being one of the better versions of Wolverine. Now,
You
already
have to stop this.
I can feel myself comparing it to this, and I have to say Wolverine's Revenge is better. That flawed media was better
With me.
even though I want to like this game.
Logan!
Okay, they showed Jean Grey multiple times in this trailer. I have to talk about her. Now people said she looks ugly. Now, eyes are the beauty of the beholder, blah blah blah. But the thing about it is, one of her character traits is that she is a phenomenal knockout. That is how it was supposed to go. Now, again, you're going to compare her across all the media. If she's not on a hottie with toddy on the same level as, let's just say, from the X-Men movies or from the X-Men cartoon show or from other video games, then people are just going to look down on that and they're going to get defensive and demand that you update her. Now, to me, she's not that bad looking in certain situations and sequences. But I think it has to do with the lighting or the way they set her up. But in certain places, she looks pretty terrible. Like, I remember seeing her face here, and it's just like, oh, that's
Not today, Bob.
bad. Omega Red. I can't really find a problem with Omega Red. I actually kind of like what the design. Lady Deathstrike, I don't have a clue. Oh, Sabretooth. Your face looks kind of pudgy. People said it looked pudgy, and I wasn't really sure, but looking at it like this, yeah. It's not bad to have a pudgy face, but Sabretooth needs to have a more angular, much more grr, I'm gonna eat you face, It's gotta have a much more aggressive looking face, and that doesn't look aggressive. I can't really get a good look at her from this thing. She looks all right, Lady Deathstrike. She don't look terrible.
You have to stop this.
People were complaining about Mystique. Again, one of Mystique's features is that she's very attractive. And also, okay. I like to have moral relativism nowadays, because they don't like having good guys and bad guys, which was stupid. That's a stupid decision. Whoever thought that was a good idea was an idiot. That works out sometimes. But if you don't have a clear moral distinction between people in your stories, you kind of just make a morally gray sludge that no one can really get behind. And it's not just me saying that, it's multiple people saying that. I don't think people thought that part through. And by the way, I'm fully aware there's a Sentinel on the screen, and that could be a cool boss fight, and that could be a cool scene. But I also know that it's probably just going to be button presses. Yeah, it's a quick time event boss battle, And quick time event boss battles are they're okay in certain instances, but you really need to have the player feel like they're fighting a sentinel. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, yeah, this is one of those games. Again, cool scenes. Her face here was kind of, I wouldn't say terrible, but you got to admit it's not on par with
Bob.
most other iterations. Well, no, I think she was fine.
You have to stop this.
Fair enough. Like I said, you is the eye of and if she looks pretty good, I think amazing. Okay, hold on. I thought I was going to show her face again.
I need you with me.
All right, there it is. So, right here, this is a good version of her face. I thought that was a nice. I see again the lighting, the way the coloring there. She looks pretty good. She looks pretty good. Is it the type of woman that would cause two men to fight over her? I suppose. I don't want to get too stuck on her looks because the more deeper, because that's like a surface thing, but at the same time, I recognize that surface things are very important. You need to sell copies here, and people are angry with PlayStation. People are angry with Insomniac because of the Mary Jane missions, and they heard they took out the Mary Jane missions here. Well, the Jean Grey missions, and I'm just thinking. I feel like you're not getting the main point of the complaints. The main points of the complaints is that you're making a Wolverine game and it doesn't feel like you're giving him the center stage or you're giving him the center position in the story. Like he's not as important as the other characters in the game. Like he's a side character here. And that's a valid argument because it feels like they put a lot of effort into making other characters shine in the game. Now, I could say that's not fair or say like we're being a little too harsh, but let's all stop and realize that ultimately the gaming industry is a hobby industry. It's an industry where people have the choice to come in and play video games. They don't have to play your game. They don't have to look at your trailers. They don't have to even do what I'm doing right now, which is dissect the trailers or talk about them or break them down. They can all just ignore you and they can all just leave you alone. The fact that they're giving you any sort of feedback or any sort of advice, you should be somewhat, at the very least, somewhat grateful because normally they just don't even show up for stuff. You know what I mean? Like when they don't like something, they just don't even show up for it. So they're at least helping you out by saying, "Hey, we don't like the way Jean Grey looks like. Her face looks like that. We don't like that." I was like, "Okay, we'll improve it a bit. We'll mess around with the lighting." Hey, Wolverine doesn't look like Hugh Jackman in his prime. I say, okay. And people say he doesn't have like the angular face, and it's sort of like ruining it for them. Like the eyebrows aren't like pointing down in an angry, I'm Wolverine. I cut people with my knives. That's what he. And that's I think what people are trying to get you to avoid is to not make a Billy knife hands game. Instead, they want you to make a Wolverine game. They don't want Billy knife hands. They want Wolverine. They want that badass. They want that tough guy. They want it. And notice I said they want it. They really want this. But if you don't give them this, then they don't really need the game, so they'll just move on to something else. So keep that in mind when you're complaining about people giving you too much criticism for your your design of the game. Now, if they're making personal attacks, may I simply say to those people, please stop that. That's not very nice or appropriate to the situation. But if you're talking about their work in the game, I would say that's fair game, but I would also say keep it civil and keep it respectable. I think that's about it. We can move on. I can simply summarize my main thoughts of the game. Man, I would, again, at the start I said the more I find out about it, the more I dislike it. It's very, very true. Unfortunate, but true. I am in a state of, like, I don't really, because it's a PlayStation game, right? So it's going to take a while to get to PC, and I think I might just wait for it to get to PC. I might get it on a cheap sale. Because Wolverine is one of my favorite characters, but if you don't do him right, then I don't. Then it's just Billy Knife Hands, and I don't want to play a game called Billy Knife Hands. So I might just skip the game entirely. I think a lot of people are coming to that same mental state, and again, some of that was on Insomniac for the way they designed the game and the way they designed the characters and the way the gameplay is going about, because it looks like it's just quick time event after quick time event. But some you gotta at least give like 25% of the problem to PlayStation, because of this whole media thing. Yeah, just no physical media thing. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna slow your sales down. I think that does it for this episode of CBH 4K complains to Mike about everything. Everything stinks. But no, I, I do like things. I do enjoy things. If you want to see me enjoy things, click the like button, click the subscribe button, and check out various videos on this channel, and you might find something that I like and you like, and hear me talk about it. Until then, sayonara.